Bond. James Bond.
Bond made danger look civilized. No wires, just willpower. Real cliffs, real bruises. Insurance prayed, cameras rolled. These are 10 outrageous Bond moments today's studios would send to a committee twice. This video is a tribute to the stuntmen and crews who did it for real. And hey, stay till the end for our lightning round. 5 blink and you miss 'em legends. Top 10. From Russia with Love, 1963. Orient Express sleeper car fight.
Take it easy, 07.
Bond's riding the Orient Express with Tatiana and a typewriter that starts wars, and in strolls Red Grant, like the receipt for all of Bond's good luck. The corridor narrows, the air gets stingy, and that sleeper car suddenly feels like a steel shoebox with opinions. No speeches, no gadgets, just 2 professionals who know the furniture is about to file for workers' comp. Connery and Shaw bang off the racks, rattle the door, and trade punches close enough to share cologne. A knife shows up late and rude, like a bill you forgot to pay. The camera doesn't escape, it sweats with them. You hear metal complain and feel the floor do the math on every slam. No safety net peeking out of the frame, no mercy in the edit. Just the kind of honest, ugly brawl that makes you sit up straighter and check your own ribs. Today they'd build a bigger set and pad it like a toddler's playpen. In '63, they just fought where the luggage goes. That's why you rewound it. It feels adult, unsupervised, earned. If that claustrophobic pounding tightened your tie, clear your throat. The Bayou's about to turn scenic into a contact sport. Top 9. Live and Let Die, 1973. Bayou boat chase and road jump.
Good morning, boss.
Bond pokes Mr. Big and suddenly, Louisiana wakes up cranky. Sirens sing, Sheriff Pepper inflates, and the marsh puts on its mean face. Those glass-drawn speedboats don't launch, they snap, threading Cyprus like greyhounds who heard the can opener, throwing rooster's tails of mud and attitude. Then comes the moment you tell your friends about. A boat hits a ramp, jumps a road, and lands on the other side like gravity just lost a bet. Behind the curtain, they built 26 boats and sacrificed 17 to the stunt gods. Part action sequence, part inventory clearance. Water lies for a living, depths shift, logs hide, wakes cross, and 1 degree off turns ballet into yard sale. Camera rafts buck the chop. A helicopter pretends to be a ceiling fan, and every oops becomes a splinter with a personality. Today they'd LiDAR the swamp, previs the ripples, and let computers do the swimming while legal counts paddles. In '73, the memo said, louder, faster, funnier, bring a wrench. The ramp set a distance mark by accident, the audience set a grin on purpose, and your nose swears it smelled gasoline from the couch.
Sincere condolences.
Next up, a backyard rocket pack, 20 seconds of fuel, and a very small landing zone. Now it's time to show your stripes. Starting next fact, 3 covert clips from a classic '80s series are hiding in plain sight. Spot them. Drop exact timestamps, plus the series title in the comments. Cleanest intel gets next week's shoutout. Top 8. Thunderball, 1965. Jetpack escape. The chateau says au revoir. The courtyard says absolutely not, and Bond steps onto the balcony like a man late for his own exit. No staircase, no speech. He straps a backyard moonshot to his spine and lights the wick. The rocket belt coughs, then sings. Suddenly, he's hovering over angry men with guns and haircuts, drifting past chimneys like a mailman who took the scenic route. 20 seconds of flame, 0 seconds of permission. You hear the burn nibble the microphone, watch the suit jacket turn into a windsock, and feel that landing zone shrink to the size of a postage stamp, surrounded by people who want refunds. Touchdown is brisk, helmet off like tipping the waiter, and he's gone before the smoke remembers his name. No wires, no green wall, just lift, drift, and a polite negotiation with gravity that could have gone either way. Today, they'd stretch the fire in post and call it innovation. In '65, it was Tuesday with a helmet. You don't clap, you exhale. Next, a buzzing lawn chair grows teeth and picks a fight with the sky. Top 7. You Only Live Twice, 1967. Little Nelly dogfight. Japan looks peaceful until the rotor blades start spelling threats. Bond arrives for a sightseeing tour. before hostile helicopters RSVP no. Q's care package unpacks into Little Nelly, an autogyro that looks like a toy until it bears its hardware. Up they go. Open cockpit, real sun, real wind, smoke trails handwriting the sky while a pilot's wrists do calculus no one teaches. The camera hangs just off the rotor disc, close enough to taste vibration. You see micro corrections in the stick, feel each gust get a vote, and watch daylight refuse to behave like a set. Rockets scribble, gun pods chatter, enemies peel off in untidy pieces, and the horizon keeps score. No digital babysitter, no padded cockpit, just a dragonfly with an attitude problem and a pilot who refuses to blink first. Today they'd widen the seat, plate the background, and let software rehearse courage. In '67 they threaded real air and trusted a steady hand. It lands like a gentleman, parks like a dare, and pretends it wasn't sweating. Strap in. Next, a family car earns a PhD in physics. One take, full send, a corkscrew that turns math into applause.
Fill her up, please.
Top 5. Octopussy, 1983. Microjet through the hangar. The caper hiccups, alarms go full gospel choir, and Bond swings into a BD-5J like it's a borrowed bike he's not returning on time. The runway says left, the guards say no, and he picks the third option, straight through a hangar stuffed with hard objects and bad decisions. What hits you isn't digital swagger, it's a tiny jet fuselage bolted to a ground rocket rig, carving a dead center line while lights strobe, grit kisses the lens, and the clearance shrinks to "don't breathe." At that speed, an inch isn't a measurement, it's a threat. Drift and you autograph the wall in aluminum cursive. A crosswind makes you modern art. From the camera's seat, it's a missile with landing gear. From the crew's seat, it's timing, geometry, and a blood oath not to blink. No render farm, no safety sermon, just speed trying to evict confidence, and confidence paying cash at the door. You don't watch it so much as brace for it. If this is your flavor, we've got Octopussy, 20 wild facts you didn't know. Peek it after this one, the link's waiting in the description. Next, engines down, vertigo up, trade runway for skyline and throw hands on a clothesline over Rio.
This is where we leave you, Mr. Bond.
A little premature, isn't it?
Top 4. Moonraker, 1979. Sugarloaf cable car fight. Rio sparkles, the gondolas glide, and Jaws shows up like gravity's bouncer. No list, no mercy. Bond and Goodherd step into a swaying tin postcard and start negotiating with altitude using knuckles and shoe leather. Floors tilt, cables hum bass notes, and every punch gets an extra beat because the ground lives in another zip code. The camera leans out far enough your knees flashes off steel like a warning flare, wheels bite cable with an industrial heartbeat, and the wind edits the scene whether anyone asked or not. Harnesses help, but height taxes courage with interest. This view isn't a backdrop, it's a co-star that insists on close-ups. Today you'd LED wall the horizon and spreadsheet the bravery. In '79 they rolled on the mountain and politely asked the skyline to stay put. You feel the vertigo because the vertigo is real. Up next, keep those nerves handy. The swamp's about to demand footwear, and Bond plans to pay in crocodiles.
That's an alligator. You can always tell by its round nose.
Top 3. Live and Let Die, 1973. Crocodile back escape. Kananga's reptile resort rolls out the red carpet, then lights it on fire. Gate locked, dock burning, Bond staring at 5 prehistoric bridges with teeth. He does the adult thing. Heel to heel across living luggage while the swamp counts steps. No rubber suits, no pixel pets, just boards that flex, mud that breathes, and smiles with 80 ways to renegotiate your choreography. You hear the boots slap wood like a drum roll. Watch the water lie with a straight face, and feel the difference between bravado and receipts. Ross Kananga himself does the run. 5 takes, 1 heel bite. A lesson in why nature doesn't accept IOUs. The whole beat plays like a dare your knees wouldn't sign, and yet there it is, filed under "We actually did that." Today they'd rent a tank and hire a render farm. In '73 they signed the waiver with their shoes. If your palms aren't sweating, check your pulse, because the next problem isn't horizontal, it's straight down.
So right, Mr. Bond.
Top 2. Moonraker, 1979. No parachute freefall. The door opens, loyalty exits, and Bond leaves the plane like unwanted carry-on. No chute in sight. Just sky, attitude, and a to-do list. Then the mad science of courage. B.J. Worth and Jake Lombard hurl themselves into blue again and again. Chutes hidden under suits. A mid-air handoff that looks like theft at terminal velocity. A camera flyer stares panic in the faceplate, while gravity heckles the choreography. Miss the grip and you're a well-dressed meteor. Hit it and the cut stitches dozens of real jumps into one long, held breath your ribs remember. Today they'd mocap the flail and schedule a meeting about the breeze. In '79, they opened the door and let physics handle casting. You don't watch this one, you brace for it, hearing the air chew the mic while your stomach files a complaint in triplicate. Final roll call, just before we get to top 1. Remember, 3 covert clips from a classic '80s series are still hiding in plain sight. Drop exact timestamps plus the series title in the comments. Cleanest intel gets Friday's shoutout. And now, top 1. The Spy Who Loved Me, 1977. Union Jack ski jump. The Alps are a postcard until the Soviets scribble on it with bullets. Bond's boxed in on a glacier, options slim, dignity intact. He does the adult thing, points downhill and lets physics pick a side. White noise, white sky, white knuckles, then the horizon runs out. He doesn't flinch, he just leaves, skis off a cliff so tall it has its own weather. For a breath you hear nothing but wind and your own bad decisions. Stunt ace Rick Sylvester floats in a silence that feels like a courtroom. Time stretches, the stomach drops a resignation letter, and the planet clears its throat. And then, boom, the parachute blooms into a Union Jack, the cleanest punchline in action cinema, delivered at terminal sincerity. 1 jump, 3 cameras, a weather window stingier than a banker. Miss a beat and the mountain keeps the secret forever. Today they'd drone the wide, simulate the powder, run 10 approvals, and still add a digital wink to the flag. In '77, it was a man, a mountain, and the word action. You feel the wind before you see the canopy. That's why it lands in your ribs and stays there. Curtain down, knees weak, try clapping without looking down. Before we punch the throttle into the lightning round, quick pit stop, shout out to Johnny the Shark for bringing Alf to lunch. I want a BLT, bacon, lucky, and tomato. Poor little cat. Owen Bevan 6062 for taxiing in airplane style. Surely you can't be serious. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. And Dardaby for unleashing Ghostbusters chaos. Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. Big love to last week's comment crew, timecode snipers and continuity detectives alike. May your knees be kind, your remotes never vanish, and your VHS memories stay 4K in your head. As this squad grows, so do the prizes. Bigger drops coming each month. And now, as promised, our lightning round. 5 fast ones now with extra meat.
Listen, you can drop me off at the next corner. This whole thing is getting a little out of hand.
Our Diamonds Are Forever, 1971. Mustang Alley on 2 wheels. Vegas cops box Bond in. The alley's narrower than a tax loophole. He tips the Mustang onto 2 wheels, threads the slot like a letter through a mail slot, then pops back down, continuity hiccup and all. Audacity did the stunt, editing pretended it was polite.
He killed my parents.
The Havelocks?
Our For Your Eyes Only, 1981, 2CV that wouldn't quit. After a botched meet, Bond and Melina dive into a yellow 2CV that has the horsepower of a hairdryer and the soul of a goat. Downhill through olive groves, over ditches, back on the wheels, and somehow still outrunning real cars with real engines. Stubbornness beats torque. Remy Julian signs the receipt. Our For Your Eyes Only, 1981, Meteora cliff fall. Bond free climbs the monastery rock like rents do. Henchmen try the kick him off plan. One loses the argument with gravity and takes a clean, terrifying drop. Rigged, yes, but the distance is rude. The cut makes your knees file a complaint. Our From Russia with Love, 1963, boat chase, second draft. After the Spectre camp goes kaboom, Bond bolts by boat. Calm water wasn't cooperating on location, so they restaged for punchier wakes and bigger bangs. Fuel drums light up, engines scream, and the edit turns Sleepy River into sharp elbows. Sometimes the stunt is in the cutting room. Hour, A View to a Kill, 1985, Eiffel Tower base jump. Mayday turns lunch into homicide. Bond sprints after her as she swan dives off Paris. The jump is real, the margin is rude, and the landing says one and done. Paris plays co-star, Gravity gets top billing. If this lit your VHS heart, keep digging with us in the vintage vault. There's more grit, more bruises, more "they really did that"? Which moment hit you hardest? And what do you want us to open next? Western shootouts, spy gadgets, car chases, cult TV deep cuts, you call it, we'll pull the reel. Our 3 covert clips from a classic 80s series are still hiding. Drop exact timestamps plus the series title for a Friday shoutout, and yes, prizes. Subscribe and jump into practical stunt mayhem, because pixels hold meetings, but the greats held momentum.